Hi, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to discuss about singleton design pattern. Here to make a Java class as a singleton class, uh, uh, we it is a creational design pattern. It is the way of creating an object. Okay, in a project, there is if there is in a project there is a requirement of creating a class as a singleton class. Okay, then we can design the singleton design pattern. What is the meaning of singleton? Single means one, turn means one object, singleton object, one object, and one object should be created for the class, and it should be reusable, and we can reuse the same object. We can use multiple times. When we get the object, we will get the same object. Okay, this is the use case of the singleton class. And for example, okay, let's I will explain in between. uh, Create a Java project. I'm writing as a singleton. Yeah, in the singleton project I am creating a class. I'm taking the class name as dosa. Okay, and package name is com.it. Yeah, here what we are going to do, here to make this singleton. Okay, how we are going to create a object for the class? By invoking the constructor. By invoking the constructor we can create the object, right? So for that I'm writing public dosa. It's a constructor. Okay, so uh, to create an object, I'm taking a another class. So it's a client. I can say it's a client. Okay, I'm taking test in the main method. Yeah, here new dosa. I'm getting the dosa object, and sys out. Okay, here dosa dot hash code, and here new dosa. I'm creating another object, and here I'm I'm printing the hash code. Okay, dosa 2 dot hash code. Okay, I'm going to run the program and check how many objects are creating. See, the both the hash codes are different. It is violating the singleton. So how the object is created? When we are calling the constructor, when we are calling the constructor, object is going to create. So to restrict, I am writing as a private. Okay, it will not allow to create an object. So here it is showing compile time. No, it will not allow to create the object. Okay, and here, so okay, we we are writing the private constructor. When, so there is no possibility of creating the object in the client application. It cannot be accessible outside of the class. So so to create an object, so to make this class as a singleton, so I'm creating a method. I'm writing a method so that to create an object. So consider I'm taking public dosa. Okay, dosa. Okay, here dosa, dosa equal to new dosa and return dosa. Right. Okay, in this method I created the object and returning the object. What is this? It is a non-static method. So for non-static method, how to call non-static method? For calling a non-static method, we require object. But this method is for creating a object. So how to call this method? So for that, I am taking a static variable, a static keyword. Okay, static is a class. It refers to class, and static methods can be accessible with by using class name, and it will be a static class name will be associated, and method will be associated with the class. Okay, so now it's okay. Okay, fine. Now we have created a method to return the object. Yeah. Now get dosa is a method. Okay. What is the class name? Dosa dot get dosa. Yeah, it will return. It's returning the dosa object, and I'm going to print the hash code. Dosa dot hash code. Here, dosa is a class, and I'm calling get dosa method. It's a static method. I'm getting dosa 2, and here dosa 2 dot hash code. Okay, so I'm calling the method so that it will create the object and it will print the hash code. Just run the program. Yeah, it's returned the two objects, but we want only one object. So this kind of approach also wrong. Why? Because here we are what we are doing. Here we are calling the method. Uh, if we are calling any number of times, a new object is going to create. So to restrict that, we need to take a condition. If dosa equal to null, okay, dosa equal to null. For that, to store this object into a variable, I'm taking a variable public dosa and dosa. Okay, I'm taking a variable. Okay, and yeah, it refers to null. So I'm taking this variable as a private because private variable cannot be accessed outside of the class and the value cannot be modified. Okay, and okay, now we took the private field. We took the private field, and so it is a non-static field. So it is showing compile time error. So it is a static method. So to access the non-static variable, we require object. Okay. Uh, so it is a static method. This is a non-static variable. So to access the static variable, to access the non-static variable, it should be static. Then we can access the this one. Okay, static. Yeah. So that we can access here. Yeah. Now it is fine. Now here run our program. Yeah, here the both hash codes are returning same object. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, so that only one object is going to create. Yeah, this is what. Yeah, here what we are doing here, whenever the object is required, then we're calling the get method. Get dosha is the starting method we're calling. Okay, so what we can say, it is a lazy initializing. Okay, whenever there's a requirement, so at that time we are going to call the method, then the object is going to create and getting. Okay, this is the lazy way of initializing, lazy of creating singleton object. Okay, okay, and we have another approach, like I'm creating class name as vada. Okay, or I can say mm, okay, apple. I'm taking apple. Here what you're doing here, I'm taking private apple, apple equal to new apple. Here I'm taking a method public static, static public static apple get apple, return apple. See what we are doing. We have, this is the eager way of initializing. I have initialized object. If there is a, if there is a use, if there is a no use in the project, it will be, object is already created. So in the project, it may be used or it may not be used in the project. Okay, this is the eager way of creating singleton object. So we have already created the object. Okay, if there is a use if there is a use in the project, or if there is no use in the project, never, not mine. So uh, so if it is acting like this, then it will be, the performance of the application will be reduced. Why? Because unnecessary object is creating, and uh, memory size will be increased. So with that, the performance of the application will be reduced. Okay, so this is the eager way of initializing the object. And so I'm calling here uh, get apple dot apple. I'm getting the apple object sysout dot hash code. Same way, I'm creating the object for the apple 2 and apple 2. I'm separating the line between them. I'm running the program. See here, the hash code is same. Here the hash code is same. In the apple, I'm initializing the object. If there is a use or there is a no use, doesn't matter, it will be initialized. With this, the performance of the application will be reduced. Okay, so it is not a good practice. It's not good for the big projects. So here we are doing the lazy initialization. Okay, and it is, yeah, this is a perfect example of creating the object, creating the object singleton object. And yeah, when coming to it is for a single thread. Consider that only one thread is going to access, and it is fine. For example, coming to multi-threading concept. Multi-threading means uh, one or the two or more threads are going to access the method. Okay, two or more threads are going to access. Then what will happen? Then, for example, one thread is coming to, if those are equal to null, and one thread is accessing this, and another thread also accessing. Then two threads, what will they decide? Yeah, dosha is null to the first thread, and dosha equal to null for the second thread. Then what they will do? They will create the object. So two objects will be created. How the threads will what? So main is a one thread. Okay, main thread is a one thread. But in the threads concept, multi-threading concept, multiple threads will be taking part for the execution. So by using multi-threading, this this method will fail. Why? Because for the two threads or three threads, any number of threads, uh, it may be shown, it will be confirmed that thread 1, thread 2 or thread 3, it will be, though the object is reference variable is null, then it will create the object, then singleton will be failed, then it is no longer be singleton. To eradicate that, okay, to stop that, what we are going to use, synchronized way we can synchronize the way of creating thread. We have to choose, we are it should be a thread safe. Thread should be processed one by one. After one thread execution, another thread should be allowed. Okay, this is the synchronized way of creating thread or allowing a thread. So for that I am taking synchronized keyword. Synchronized. Okay, synchronized keyword. Okay, then what will happen? Then one thread is coming to this method. Then after the one thread execution completed, then thread 2 will go. Okay, for example, if, okay, for example, we have lots of lines of code here. We have a lot of lines of code is available here, and in here after the if block, there are also so many lines are available in the project. Then what? This is unnecessary code we are making as a thread safe. But where we want to make as a thread safe, only one object need to be created, right? So for that, here we need to make the condition. So this is the main code, right? If dosha is equal to null, then only dosha object need to be created. There will be any number of lines in this method. Here also there will be any number of lines. So for that, uh, it is not necessary of making a synchronized method. Okay, so here the main use to make here one thread need to be accessed here. So for that, here I'm taking synchronized keyword. Okay, we can say here synchronized block. Okay, here I'm keeping the condition here. Okay, here is not necessary because unnecessary codes we are making as synchronized. Okay, here uh, which class we are making the synchronized, it's a synchronized block. Which class we are going to make a synchronized? Dosha dot class. This class we are making a synchronized block, and here one thread is coming, and it is saying that it is null. Then it will enter into synchronized block, and it will create a thread. And another thread is coming here and waiting, and two three threads are coming, and it's confirmed that dosha equal to null. Okay, this reference variable is null. So, and it will come into synchronized block, and it will create a thread, and it will create an object. Okay, and it will create an object, and it will return, and it will return the object. So here here the condition, all the threads are coming here and confirming that, yeah, dosha equal to this variable is null. Dosha, okay, null. So after one thread executed into the synchronized block, then it it will create the object, and it will return the object. So one thread is doing like this, and another thread also coming, and it confirms that dosha equal to null. Okay, and third thread is coming, and dosha equal to null, and it is entering into the synchronized block, and it is creating the thread and the returning. It means it is for every thread it is creating a new object. So here we are not creating the singleton, okay, object. So for that we need to make a another check. If those are equal to null, okay, here those are equal to null. So here one thread is coming, here one thread is coming, a second thread is coming, and third thread is coming, and fourth thread is coming. Yeah, it is maintaining queue. Why? Because it has synchronized block. So T1 thread 1 got the dosha equal to null, and thread 2 also got dosha equal to null, and thread 3 also got the dosha equal to null, and thread 4 also got the dosha equal to null. Okay, they confirm this is null. Okay, then first thread is entered into the synchronized block. Okay, and dosha equal to null. Yeah, it is null. Then it is created the object and return the object. Okay, fine, completed. Now second thread will come here into the synchronized block, and it will check dosha equal to null. Then it is confirmed that dosha is not equal to null. Why? Because thread 1 already executed and created the object and returned the object. So this condition will fail, and it will return the same object. And it comes to the thread 3, and thread, what thread 3 will do? Thread 3 also will come into the synchronized block, and it will check dosha equal to null. No, dosha is not equal to null. Why? Because thread 1 is already created the object. So in the dosha we have an object. So the if condition will fail, and it will return the same object, and thread 4 will do the same thing. So this is this is the this is the way of creating the singleton class when it is coming to multi-threading. Okay, this is the best approach for creating a singleton class. Okay, a singleton object. So here this is the way of creating singleton object, and here we can break by using uh, uh, okay, and by cloning, we have the cloning, so that we can break the singleton class, and by using a reflection API. So at the runtime we can make the reflection with the using the reflection API. We can access the private variable, private constructor, so that we can create the we can break the singleton class. So in the further classes, I will explain how to break singleton class. Yeah, thank you for watching.